Welcome back inside the Burns Arena. Dixie State basketball hosting St. Martin's University out of Lacey, Washington tonight. The Saints come marching in.
Yeah, there you go.
I couldn't help it.
You did it.
I couldn't help it. Time for some starting lineups before we get this thing underway. Let's go with the visiting Saints, led by head coach Aaron Landon in his first season at the helm at St. Martin's. Assistant coaches Tyler Velasquez and Luke Chavez. They'll start like this. 6'3" freshman guard Alex Schumacher, 6'3", 240-pound junior guard DeMonte Malloy, a 6'1", 165-pound junior guard C.J. Jennings, a 6'2" sophomore guard John Moore, and a 6'9", 250-pound junior center from Forks, Washington, Marky Adams. That is the starting lineup for the St. Martin's Saints. For Dixie State, Mike, they're going to go talk about consistency, trying to find things that work. They're going with the same starting lineup as last night. They will start Jack Paganikoff, Dason Youngblood, Frank Stain, Cameron Chatwin, and Hunter Schofield. And of course, the Trailblazers led by the man, the myth, the legend himself, head coach John Judkins, 15th season at Dixie State, compiling 264 wins against just 126 losses here at Dixie State as he continues to creep toward that 300-win plateau at Dixie State. Of course, he's over 500 for his career, 26th season overall, and he's at 548 career wins, 2 more and he'll hit 550. And the longer that he continues to coach, he's going to continue to climb up the record books in college basketball, but here in the state of Utah as well in terms of most wins as a head coach. Phenomenal to see what he's done everywhere that he's gone. Success following. You know this best. You've worked with him, and success follows him everywhere he goes. Yeah, he must be a good coach.
He is a great coach and even better man. He does it the right way. There's no question that he's doing things the right way, and he's really built a very strong Division II program. I look back, he and I have had conversations about we came here to build a strong D2 program, and he's done that very quickly. Now that mindset shifts at the end of this season to build a very strong Division I program.
This is
he's the guy to do it.
And this is a perfect opportunity. You just mentioned that you were on that staff, that maiden voyage as an NCAA member of the Division II. What is it like now to look back on that and look back? This is year 14 as a Division II member, and know that next year this team will be competing in the NCAA Division I level. Just knowing that you were a part of that transition to Division II. What's it like looking back and knowing this team's going Division I now?
Well, you don't have to look very far because there's banners up on the roofs that remind us.
Yeah.
Great transition, and from an athletics department head to toe, it comes from Mo Eckroth and Jacqueline Kerouac and Kelby. Such a great department. Steve Johnson, our sports information. It's been a very great ride for Dixie State in the D2 era. It's exciting to have one more season, and then we'll kick things off, ready to go next year.
Here we go. It'll be Schofield and Adams to jump it. Dixie State in the home whites, St. Martin's in the road reds. And the tip is won by St. Martin's. It'll be tapped back to Alex Schumacher. For what it's worth, second night in a row, Dixie State has lost the opening tip. Oh. Saints will set up the offense, kick it into the left corner. Three-point shot on the way, too strong from C.J. Jennings, and Dixie State the rebound. Pagankoff the other way, moving right to left across your radio dial. In half number 1, inside, Schofield off the window and in. Dixie State a 2-0 lead.
We're seeing a trend. That was the exact same play they scored on last night. So, they know that that's a great look. Look for him to come back and do the same thing on the left side.
Malloy for St. Martin's. He'll get inside working on Dason Youngblood, and he'll score it. We're tied at 2. 40 seconds gone by in the first half. Pagankoff will slow it up. D-Lo goes straight away with 20 seconds on the shot clock. Here's Youngblood. His pass tip taken away. Alex Schumacher chased down by Pagankoff, but he'll lay it up and in easily as Pagankoff chose not to try to contest the shot.
Saints definitely taking notes of last night's game. Came out in the exact same defense that Providence played Dixie last night. They had a lot of success with it, and the Saints are going to try it out tonight.
Youngblood to Pagankoff, will bounce to Stain. Stain, right-hand floater is good, 15 feet away, left side, and we are tied at 4.
If he can make himself a threat, right there, he gave him a shot fake. They had to respect his jumper, and then he put it on the floor and was able to drive. That's a great move by Frank Stain.
Dennings to Malloy. Malloy top of the key. John Moore for 3, too strong. Frank Stain the rebound. Stain, cross-court pass to Youngblood. will stop and pop 15 feet away left side. No, Hunter Schofield battling, and he'll chase down the long offensive rebound. Puts it on the floor, dishes to Youngblood. Another jumper, this one inside the paint. Too hard off the glass. And a loose ball foul going to be called against St. Martin's DeMonte Malloy. And we remain tied at 4, 18-15 to go in the first.
Good tempo, getting great looks at the basket. Rebounding's good. So far, Dixie looking like they've corrected some of those mistakes from last night.
Long inbound pass to Stain. Stain left wing for Youngblood. We'll whip it inside Schofield, back to Pagankoff. Steps into a 3, left wing is too short. Ball caroms to the right side and rebounded by Schumacher. And he'll push the ball across the timeline and inside. Wraparound pass is stolen by Cameron Chatwin. Ahead to Pagankoff. Pagankoff splits 2 defenders, hangs, can't hit. 2 free throws though. A whistle rings out, will halt play, and the foul will go against John Moore. 2 free throws for Jack Pagankoff.
It's a good drive right there. Defensive possession. It starts on defense. We talked about, in the pregame how your defense tonight needs to create some offense. We saw Frank Stain get a tip, and Cameron Chatwood picking up the ball that created that fast break there for Jack Pagankoff.
Pagankoff, first free throw up and in. Dixie State on top by 1, 5-4, 17:54 to go. If you're just joining us, we welcome you inside the broadcast, whether it's on Radio Dixie 91.3 FM or on the Dixie State Stretch Internet portal. Thanks for tuning in and making us part of your night. Second free throw up and in for Pagankoff, and a 6-4 lead for the Trailblazers. With 17:50 to play. St. Martin's will set up the offense to the left corner in Jennings. Jennings centers the ball. 3-point land straight away to the right side. Schumacher will whip it back around the horn and back into the hands of Jennings. Tries to penetrate inside, spins it back outside, and is chased down by Schumacher. Saints with 5 to shoot. A deep 3, right side, too strong. Pagankoff fighting for the rebound. It's loose. He's got it. Pagankoff with numbers, tries to pass inside to Stain, and is tipped out of bounds by Cole Alton, who had just checked into the game. And possession will stay with Dixie State. Pagankoff, baseline left side, into Stain for 3, left corner, and it's good. Frank Stain already putting yesterday's game behind him, and Dixie State leads 9-4. Stain with 5 early points, and that's the difference in this one. 17-10 to go first half. It'll be John Moore. Top of the key now, Schumacher. They'll whip it back to Moore. Left wing, 3 for Alton. Rims out. Frank Stain the rebound. Stain will outlet to Youngblood. Youngblood, left corner, Pagankoff 3, too short. And a foul going to be called against Cameron Chatwin. Markey Adams went up high and got the rebound, and Chatwin got the arm. Good call, definitely contact there. Chatwin will pick up the foul, and Josh Newbo will check in.
Great hustle there by Cameron Chatwin. You love when they're crashing the boards that hard. That's a foul that you can definitely live with. No question that, it was an unfortunate call for Cameron. He's playing so hard, but you can live with those.
16:35 to play. Dixie State a 9-4 lead in the early going here. Stain will tip a pass, and it goes off of the leg of Cole Alton and out of bounds into the Dixie State bench, and the Trailblazers get it back. Yeah,
quick adjustment there by Coach Judkins. The Saints 0-4 from the 3-point line. 3 of those would hit the backboard first, so he quickly went to his zone and said, hey, well, if you're going to beat us, it's going to be from outside.
Pass inside Newbold. His first shot attempt is good from 10 feet away on the left side, and Dixie State a game-high 7-point lead, 11-4, 16:15 remaining. Schumacher whipping it back around the horn to Moore. Inside of Markey. Markey to Moore. Left corner. Pressured by Pagankoff. Gets inside, kicks it back to the left corner. Alton. Top of the key 3 on the way from Jennings, and it rattles around and through. Dixie State an 11-7 lead. 15:50 to go. Media timeout coming on the next whistle. Stain for Dixie State to Newbold. Baseline left side jumper. Too strong. Rebound Schumacher and St. Martin's. This UC San Diego team opened with an 88-55 loss to UC San Diego last week. The Tritons very good always, and looking to be one of the best teams in the West region this year. A 3 from the left corner will rim out for Jennings, and Dixie State the rebound. And here we go the other way. Newbold looking for Schumacher. Ball bouncing around, it's loose. Not Schumacher, Schofield, and he picks it up and lays it in. Trailblazers by 6, 13-7, 15:05 to go. Too many names that start with S out there. Alton working on Schofield, and it's tied up. Nope, he gets it away, kicks it back out. Moore for 3, and he knocks it in straight away. St. Martin starting to heat up from outside, 13-10. Trailblazers by 3, still waiting for that under 16 media. Stain, one dribble, gives to Schofield. Left elbow jumper on the way and through. 15-10, Dixie State a 5-point lead.
It's good to see Hunter have confidence in that shot. That's the shot he had all night last night. And it's open for him again. He's confident, he's taking him, and he's knocking him down. So that's a good sign for Dixie State.
Cole Alton holding left wing. 15 to shoot, halfway through the shot clock for the Saints. Now Markey driving inside, right-hand floater is good. 15-12, Dixie State lead is 3, 14-10 remaining. Stain the other way to Newbold, baseline left side jumper. He says, if you're gonna give it to me repeatedly, I'm going to take it and I'm gonna make it. 17-12, Dixie State by 5, 13:54 to go. Still awaiting the under 16 media timeout. Trailblazers have hit on 4 of their last 5 field goals. St. Martin's 3 of their last 4. Both teams shooting a high percentage. Jennings inside, can't get it to go. Dixie State the rebound. An opportunity to make it a 7 or a 8-point lead. Schofield, top of the key, will drive inside, high off the window, no, it's loose. Frank Stain trying to chase down the long rebound, is tied up. Bodies hit the ground everywhere. And it's a jump ball, and Dixie State will have the arrow after the media timeout. 13:24 to go. Dixie State 17, St. Martin's 12, a 60-second timeout, and back to the Burns on the Dixie State Basketball Radio Network. Dixie State shooting 53% to the first 6+ minutes of the first half, 7 of 13 from the field. St. Martin's not much worse, 5 of 11 for a 45% clip, and both teams finding shots, having confidence, and stepping up and making shots. Everything you want to see so far in a basketball game.
That's right, very similar to last night's start. You know, Dixie jumped out the gates last night and built a pretty good lead, and then kind of gave it up a little bit. So, you know, the Saints seeing a little bit of success right there in that zone for a little bit. Coach Shutkins just made some great adjustments in the timeout, and they should look to extend this lead.
Inbound pass from Pagenkopf to Newbold. He'll catch and score. Josh Newbold has 6 points tonight, and it's a 7-point lead for the Trailblazers, matching their game high, 19-12. DeMonte Malloy, top of the key, Logan Rooney. Now to Schumacher. A couple new faces out on the floor for the Saints. Rooney being one of them. Speaking of new faces, Jared Green set to check in for the Trailblazers. Shot up and no good from Alton. And the rebound to Dixie State. Pagenkopf to the left wing. Leighton Parker checked in during the timeout along with Andre Wilson. The right side, Schofield. They'll swing it. Wilson, left corner 3. Bingo! And Dixie State leads 22-12, a 10-point advantage, 12:30 remaining in the first.
Love the patience there. Great ball reversal. That ball went left to right side against that zone 3 or 4 times. Great ball movement by Dixie State.
Here's Malloy driving inside, and he'll get the layup to go. Partially contested by Schofield. And it's 22-14, Trailblazers by 8. 12-10 remaining. We've almost got another media on our hands as we approach the under 12. Pagenkopf to Wilson. Parker now inside Newbold. Trying to force a pass into Schofield, and it's taken away by Alton. Here come the Saints. Malloy passes inside Rooney. He can't score it. Schofield the rebound. Wilson to Pagenkopf. 3-point land straight away. Whipping it baseline right side. Newbold, and that was in and out. Same shot as he's had from the left side, but this time on the right. Halfway down, it pops out. 22-14, Dixie State an 8-point lead. 11:30 to go. Media timeout coming on the next dead ball. Schumacher holds. Now dribbles to his left for the Saints on a 14-second shot clock. to Alton. Free throw line, and he'll get inside and score. Nifty move, fake left, ducked under the defender, and laid it up and in. 22-16, Trailblazers by 6, 11:08 to go. Schofield, left elbow. They'll give him space. Misses the jumper. Schumacher the rebound for the Saints. Schumacher for three, right wing, no. Pagankoff will chase it down. Once again, we play minutes past the media timeout. Pagankoff steps into a deep two, misses. Newbold had it on the offensive glass, but it's ripped out of his hands by DeMonte Malloy. Malloy driving the other way. It's knocked out of his hands by Pagankoff. It's loose. Parker picks it up. Parker will bounce to Pagankoff. He's going to reverse from left to right, misses. It's tapped back out. Jack's got it again. Will drive inside and score it the second time. Pagankoff getting fancy, misses that one, but then scores it on the basic putback.
2 points is 2 points. We'll take it.
I'm just sad I missed Coach Judkins' reaction to that play.
It was good.
10-12 remaining. Dixie State trailing or leading by 8 as we approach the halfway point of the first half. Caden Smith will bounce to Malloy. Jump stop in the lane, and he'll score it off the glass. 24-18, 6-point Dixie State lead. Up and down, back and forth we go inside the Burns Arena. Parker to Newbold, right elbow. Puts the ball on the floor, stops the dribble, fires, 15-footer, good. Continually saying, if you give me the space, I'll knock it down. Now he's tugging on his jersey, asking for a breather. Schumacher in the lane, floats with the right. No, a late whistle will ring out. And that's going to go against Pagankoff. And the referee says to Coach Judkins, it was late, I'll give you that. It was late, a little armbar foul going against Pagankoff. That brings us to the media. 9:30 to go. Dixie State a 26-18 advantage. 60-second timeout and back to the Burns on the Trailblazer Basketball Network. Well, Dixie State leading by 8, and it was Josh Newbold off the bench, 4 for 6 shooting. He's got 8 points. It's great when you can go to the bench and you have a guy that you say, hey, we need some scoring, and he comes out, knocks down some open shots.
Yeah, that's a guy right there that paid attention in the film session today. He learned from last night. He watched in the film session today. The Saints are playing the exact same zone Providence did, and he's doing a very good job of going short corner to short corner, stepping up and finding those gaps. And once he's got those gaps, they're looking for him, and he's shooting with confidence, and that's been the difference. The two big guys for Dixie State picking up some of that scoring that they would like to have seen last night, looking real good early tonight.
It'll be Alex Schumacher at the line for a pair of free throws. After he was fouled by Pagankoff before the free throw line. It's just a 62% free throw shooter. Makes that one. Of course, early in the season, it's a small sample size.
That's right.
He was only 5 for 8 coming in to this, and he'll make both. Now 6 for 10 from the free throw line this season is Schumacher. The Dixie State lead trimmed to 26-20. Jared Green is in for the Trailblazers. Wilson holding left wing. Chatwin back in as well. Parker. Free throw line. A little hippity hop inside. Saeed is in the game as well. He'll whip it inside. Chatwin high off the window. Couldn't get it to go. Rebound Malloy. And here come the Saints. It's Moore. Drives in, now kicks it back out. They leave Malloy open. He'll pop a three and he'll make it. He's the third Saint to make a three from the top of the key tonight.
Yeah, they're just missing that one rotation. They're almost like one guy too late.
26-23, Leighton Parker to answer, three-point land straight away, and he knocks it in. 29-23, Trailblazers by 6, 8:38 remaining. Schumacher takes a dribble handoff from Jennings. To Moore, right wing, into the lane, kicks it back out, Jennings. Crossing over in front of Wilson, gets to the left, kills the dribble left elbow, fadeaway jumper, no, rebound, Zubair Saeed. And the Dixie State bench loving the defense. Saeed, skip past Parker, pop the three, left wing, no, offensive rebound, Jared Green. The putback is denied by Markey Adams and chased down in the corner by Malloy. Here come the Saints. Schumacher fouled by Saeed. Schumacher was out of control, and he'll be bailed out on the contact from Saeed, and that'll bring us to the under 8 media timeout. 7:59 remaining. Dixie State by 6, 29-23. Take the 60-second timeout and come right back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network. $7:59 to play. Dixie State a 29-23 advantage, but St. Martin's, every time the Trailblazers try to make a little run and get some separation, the Saints have an answer, and it's come in the form of the three-point shot at the top of the key. You mentioned before the break that, you know, Dixie State, just one last rotation is missing as the Saints are swinging around the key, and that's leaving the top of the key open, and 3 different Saints have connected from that spot, and it's a 6-point game.
Well, they're just over-helping and really paying a lot of attention to the guys at the high post. But just watching Coach Judkins right there in the huddle, you know, they've addressed it, and you know, he's very good at communicating some of those things. So I'd be surprised if they found an open shot at the top of the key anytime soon.
Schumacher, pressured by Dason Youngblood, check back in during the timeout. Will drive inside, whipping it inside to Markey, and he's fouled by Dason Youngblood. A great wraparound pass from Schumacher to the big man, Markey Adams.
Now that time Green got pinned in the post. You give, who was it, 32?
That's Markey Adams.
Yeah, he's a very smart post player. He got great position, and Green had a hard time getting around. He couldn't fight around, and that really led to a great screen. So heads up play right there by Markey Adams.
Misses the first free throw. He'll have one more. The Dixie State student section making some noise. Adams misses both. Dixie State the rebound. 7:35 remaining in the first half and ticking. Stain, left side, top of the key now, Youngblood looking inside, nothing there. Saeed will whip it to Stain, right corner. Stain bouncing pass inside to Green, right block. Double team, stripped out of his hands by Alton, and here come the Saints. Hesitates, now drives inside, pushes off a little bit, no whistle, misses the shot, and Frank Stain the rebound. Pass ahead to Saeed, one dribble, inside, off the window, no, missed the layup, tapped around, Markey Adams the rebound for the Saints. Chatwin hits the deck on the way back up the floor, he gets up, Moore will drive it inside, kicks to Alton. Alton stops at the free throw line. Awkward looking stop, looked like he almost traveled, but didn't move the pivot foot. And they'll pass it back to Schumacher on a 12-second shot clock as the Saints reset. Screen coming. Now they'll whip it to Jennings, left wing three, off the back iron. And it's Markey Adams going up high and getting the rebound. Dixie State fans want an over the back call, not going to get it. Adams misses the putback and it goes out of bounds. Dixie State will have it.
Well, they're not going to get that over the back call if they're not boxing out. You know, they're just trying to jump with them, and that's what Coach Judkins is telling Green right there. Hey, you got to put a body on him. You put a body on him. That's an easy call for the official.
Saeed, top of the key. Youngblood to Green to Stain, 14 to shoot. Cameron Chatwin, baseline left side, misses the jumper. Green fighting for the rebound, and it goes out of bounds. Back to the Saints.
You know, I'd be shocked here if Coach Judkins doesn't go back to Josh Newbold. Somebody's got to get a big guy
Schofield.
Yeah, Schofield, either one of them. You know, they Saints have gone back to that zone. That short corner and high post is open, and both Schofield and Newbold have done such a good job working together. That high-low post game, that's open. They just got to capitalize on it.
6:08 remaining. Dixie State by 6. Jennings to the right side, Malloy. Malloy has it stripped out of his hands by Saeed, but he regains, kicks to the corner, three-point shot from Jennings is short. Dason Youngblood the rebound. Youngblood in transition, lobs ahead to Chatwin, catches but can't score off the window. Had momentum carrying him, and his shot had too much on it. Here come the Saints. Schumacher drives inside. On the right side of the floor, kicks to Malloy, dribbles all the way around the horn to the left. And the pass back out to Jennings on a 15-second shot clock. He holds D-Logo straight away. To the left, Jennings to Moore, guarded by Youngblood. Kicking to the right corner, Schumacher dribbles to the right wing, fires a three, air ball, and it's knocked out of bounds, but it's going to be a shot clock violation. The Saints trying to say that there was 1 second on the shot clock still, but referees are going to say shot clock violation.
A great defensive possession there for Dixie State. That rotation that we talked about was right on. Guys were talking, they're moving quick. You know, the Saints had that ball rotation that was going back and forth quite a bit, and Dixie communicating. They're finding those shooters and doing a better job keeping Marky Adams off the block. Very solid possession there defensively for Dixie State.
Trailblazers to the left side, and Dason Youngblood. Youngblood to Pagan-Koff, right wing. Fakes a pass to Stain in the right corner. Instead, back to Youngblood, left side, 15 to shoot. Working on Moore, and he's bumped by Moore. I thought for a minute Youngblood was going to get called for kind of the hook as he went by, but didn't. And the foul will go against John Moore, his second. Third team foul against St. Martin's. Pagan-Koff, the trigger baseline left side. Tosses into Stain, left wing. Top of the key now, Dason Youngblood. Youngblood to Pagan-Koff, quickly inside Schofield. One dribble to the rack and in.
That's textbook on how you attack from the high post. You know, he opened and quickly realized that he had nobody in front of him. Hard one dribble, easy right-hand layup.
31-23, Dixie State by 8, 4:35 remaining. Schumacher inside, off the window and in. Little contact, no whistle. And the Trailblazers 31-25, leading by 6. Left elbow is Cameron Chatwin. He traveled before he put the ball down. 4:17 remaining. Not quite to the media timeout yet. Trailblazers have led by as many as 10 here in the first half. And Josh Newbold will check back in for Cameron Chatwin. Of course, Newbold, all he did when he came in for his first 7 minutes of play, 4 for 6 from the field, scoring 8 points. Dish and assist, had a rebound as well.
Yeah, quality minutes.
Pretty effective 7 minutes. Here's Jennings to Schumacher, three-point land straight away. Face guarded by Andre Wilson. Now Wilson gives him a little space. Schumacher drives inside, now kicks it left corner. Malloy three on the way, but air ball, but it falls right into the hands of Marky Adams, who says thank you very much, and he scores it. 31-27, 4-point Dixie State lead. Schofield inside, high into the air and in over the top of Marky Adams.
Yeah, Schofield's realized that they can't guard him when he puts it on the floor with his right hand, so he's going to keep doing that. That was a great attack right there by Hunter Schofield.
Malloy for Jennings, leaning inside. No, Frank Stain the rebound. 33-27, Dixie State on top, trying to extend it. Pagan-Koff looking for Schofield, a little too much on the pass, and Hunter couldn't get to it. 3:22 remaining, the under 4 media timeout. 33-27, Trailblazers on top, 60-second timeout. And right back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network. 33-27, Dixie State, a 6-point lead. 3:22 until the break. Eric Segmiller, Mike Olson with you. Saturday night, pretty good crowd inside the Burns. Sometimes these pre-holiday crowds aren't as big as they get afterward. Not quite sure why exactly that is, but good crowd here on a Saturday night. Dixie State will break the huddle, resetting the floor for Dixie State. Jack Pagan-Koff, Frank Stain, Hunter Schofield, Andre Wilson, Josh Newbold. For St. Martin's, it'll be Malloy, Alex Clinton into the game for the first time. Caden Smith is in, Alex Schumacher, and Marky Adams, the big man. Saints with possession. Schumacher across the timelines, hearing a chance of air ball after his last missed three-point shot. Malloy driving inside. He'll get to the window and reverse it left to right and score it.
Wow, way too easy out of a timeout. You know, that you just can't have that kind of a possession defensively for Dixie State.
2:58 remaining first half. Trailblazers lead by 4, 33-29. Newbold, right elbow. They're daring him to shoot it. He's 4 for 6 from the field tonight. I don't know why they're baiting him in to try to shoot. Schofield, mid-post right side, will spin to the baseline. Missed it. Offensive rebound, Newbold. No, they say pushed off. Foul on Josh Newbold.
Wow, That's a tough one. You know, again, Josh is just crashing hard. They're not blocking off, and he's crashing hard. So as a coach, you love to see that kind of effort. You know, it's his first one, rebounding foul like that. That's just fine.
2:35 remaining in half number one. Trailblazers by 4. Malloy accelerates, gets inside, shot blocked by Hunter Schofield, but right into the waiting arms of Marky Adams again, who scores the putback. The guy's in the right place, right time every single time. 33-31, Trailblazers by 2. Newbold, left elbow jumper, yes sir. 35-31, Trailblazers by 4, 2:10 until the break.
Smart shot there by Josh Newbold. He's got a good rhythm going. They just need to keep getting him the ball right there at the high post.
Malloy right into the right corner, 3 on the way, falls short from Caden Smith, and here come the Trailblazers. Paganikoff dribbles through the legs, stops at the free throw line, now gets it right back. Wilson quickly to Schofield, and a floater from the right side, and they'll float it in. 37-31. A couple quick buckets by the Trailblazers to take the 6-point lead.
Yeah, that time Hunter Schofield in the exact same spot that Josh Newbold scored on the last possession. So those post guys working really good, high-low, interchanging in and out, short corner to high post, really working the interior very well.
Schumacher spinning in the lane, can't get the layup to go. Offensive rebound, Adams, and he's fouled on the putback. Be against Andre Wilson. It'll be his first 6th-team foul against Dixie State. So no 1-and-1 yet, and it will be on the ground. Was not on the putback. Loose ball foul. Saints with possession. Jennings and Moore will check back in for the Saints. It'll be Moore to trigger, baseline left side, out to Jennings. 1:20 on the game clock, 18 to shoot for St. Martin's. Malloy, pressured by Frank Stain. Over to Smith. Smith throws it out of bounds. A miscommunication with C.J. Jennings, and he throws it into the third row of the stands. And Dixie State will have it back with a 37-31 lead, 1:07 remaining. And this is where you want to see the Trailblazers come down. You got a 6-point lead. There's no reason to rush anything.
Nope.
Use the shot clock, find a good shot.
Patience, you know, I mean, that high post short corner is wide open. If they can just keep moving it, they can get a really high percentage shot here.
Jacob Nichols into the game. He'll pass it to the left corner. Three-pointer on the way from Frank Stain and in. 40-31.
That's exactly what happens, Carrick. When your big guy starts scoring, it opens up that perimeter shooting, and Frank Stain knew it. Got his feet ready and knocked down a huge shot.
Moore driving inside. He traveled. Dixie State going to get it back. 40.6 seconds remaining. And Coach Judkins going to take the use it or lose it timeout with 40 seconds until the break. It's a 30-second timeout, so we will take it as well. 40-31, Dixie State on top with possession and 40 seconds remaining. 30-second timeout and back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network. Back in play we go. Dixie State, a 40-31 lead with possession. 30 seconds on the game, 20 seconds on the shot clock. Here's Wilson. Swinging it right side of Paganikoff.
Oh, this could be a dunk right here.
Wilson, left wing three, no. Ball tipped around, it's loose. Who's got it? St. Martin's has it. Moore to the right side, Schumacher checks the clock. It's at 13. He'll slow it up now, back it back out near the timeline. Pressured by Frank Stain. Clock down to 5 and 4 and 3. Bouncing inside Jennings, hangs and hits with contact with 1.1 seconds remaining. The foul goes against, I believe they called it on Schofield. And Jennings will get it to go. And an opportunity for the three-point play.
Official telling Hunter Schofield that, yes, he was straight up, but he moved his feet. He stepped in and slid underneath him. He looked good up top.
Misses the free throw. Three-quarter court heave is no good. Wouldn't have counted anyway. Did not get it off on time. Coach Judkins still wanting to talk about that last call. And Coach says, look, the ref says, I just told the same thing to your player. He was straight up, but he kind of slid into it. Trailblazers, pretty good first half of basketball, Mike. They lead at 40-33. Much better first half than what we saw yesterday. What has impressed you most or kind of jumped out? Quick hitter thoughts before we go to break over the first 20 minutes of basketball.
Great adjustments versus zone. We've seen that, last night it was quick rush shots versus the zone. Tonight it's ball movement, execute, find the right spots, high post, short corner, and execution much better versus zone.
Dixie State a 40-33 lead. We'll step away. We're going to take the full 4-minute timeout. When we come back, it'll be the halftime report. We'll break down the halftime numbers. We'll look forward into the second half, and we'll get you set for the second half. Dixie State leading 40-33, 4-minute timeout, and back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network. Welcome back inside the Burns Arena. Carrick Segmiller, Mike Olson courtside as the Trailblazers lead it 40-33. Let me just say, I'm glad we're calling games at the college level right now, because more and more broadcasters, as you go to the professional, the NBA level, are getting bumped off of courtside level.
Yeah.
For the Utah Jazz example, Craig Bolerjack and Matt Harpering no longer sit down on the floor. They're up with David Locke and Ron Boone up in the nosebleeds. And I would not be happy about that.
No.
I know you want to sell those front row seats and make the money, but I would not be happy about that. But we're excited to be courtside inside the Burns Arena as the Trailblazers, a much better first half of basketball than what we saw 24 hours ago against Providence. The Trailblazers lead St. Martin's 40-33. And we welcome you inside the halftime report. We're going to give you some of the numbers, give you some of our thoughts and analysis. And first off, before we even jump into the numbers, I just want to say Dixie State is executing at a much higher level. They get the same defense thrown at them, but they're more patient tonight. You've used that word a number of times. They're kind of taking what the defense is giving them instead of forcing things. And enter Josh Newbold in 10 minutes of play. He goes 5 for 7 from the field and hits 10 points. And I don't think he necessarily came into the game looking for 5 mid-range jumpers, but they were there. It was a good time in the shot clock, and he knocked down the open jumpers. And that's, for me, one of the big differences tonight versus last night is just the shot selection, the patience, and the decision-making through this first 20 minutes of basketball.
That's spot on, Carrick. I wish we could look at a shot chart, the difference between last night, where the shots were last night, make or miss, versus tonight's shot chart, make or miss. You see, last night there would be a lot of misses around the perimeter. Early in the game, those shots were falling. Dixie came out last night firing away from the three-point line and had some success and thought, okay, this is where we're going to get our points tonight. And then when they cooled off, they didn't make that adjustment and go inside. A great play that I know Coach Judkins is going to mention it at halftime with his team in there, was that they're getting a lot of success, post touches, high post, short corner area, and St. Martin's has made an adjustment. They have to do something to counter the success that Hunter Schofield and Josh Newbold have had. So they started to suck in a little bit, and those guys knew that, and they caught it, and they fired a quick pass to Frank Stain in the corner, wide open three-pointer, and he knocked it down. So if they can keep that balance, inside, outside game, I'd be surprised to see St. Martin stay in that zone, because Dixie's finding their rhythm. They're using that patience ball movement, and they're really attacking it much more efficiently than they did last night. So hats off to that adjustment. We talked about, will they make the adjustment? Will they come tonight ready to play? They've definitely answered the bell and come ready.
First of all, let me just say, your wish is our command. It won't happen this year, but next year in the WAC, we'll be starting to use the NCAA Live Stats program, and it
nice.
makes you actually select where the shot was from. So, shot charts coming next year. I'm not sure about in-game. Maybe it might not be till the end of the game, but shot charts will be coming in the future. But let's talk about the present here tonight. Dixie State 48% from the field in the first half, 17 of 35. You like that percentage. How about 4 of 8 from the three-point line? And I talked about Dixie State being more selective. Last night at halftime, Dixie State had attempted 16 threes and only hit on a few of them. This time only 8, and they've connected on 4. That's a 50% clip. You're happy with that all day long. And they've made their only 2 free throw attempts. I think the only thing Coach Judkins would maybe say about that is, hey, we need more free throw attempts than just 2. But, of course, they haven't really gone inside right to the bucket a lot. They've taken mid-range to outside shots probably more than pounding it right at the bucket. So maybe that explains the lack of free throws. But certainly Coach Judkins will want to see a few more free throws in the second half. Dixie State out-rebounding St. Martin's 22-17, including 5-4 on the offensive glass. And how about 15 assists on 17 made baskets for the Trailblazers, 5 turnovers. You mentioned you want to see Dixie State keep it under, what was the magic number, 10 tonight? 10. So they can keep that under 5 in the second half. They'll be able to hit that magic number. But those are the Dixie State team numbers individually. Hunter Schofield with 12 points, 6 of 9 from the field, 4 rebounds, 1 block. We mentioned Josh Newbold. He's got 10. Frank Stain, who you mentioned right off the bat, came out and scored, I think, 5 of the first 6 Dixie State points. He's got another 3 since then. He's got 8 points and 8, 5, and 4. I mean, so I don't want to say we're not on triple-double watch, obviously, but Frank Stain filling up the stat sheet tonight, and these Dixie State players working together as a team, and it's working. And Coach Judkins is the first one to say, see, guys, when you follow the game plan, when you do what we draw up, it's like magic. It works. Yeah,
exactly. And when you look at last night at halftime, Coach Judkins played 10 guys. Tonight, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11 guys got in at halftime. So he's still trying to find that right combination. He's looking. He's got his starters. Those guys are pretty dialed in. It's what 5. When he has to go to the bench, what's the combination? He's still looking for that chemistry and combination.
Dixie State a 40-33 lead. St. Martin's, on the other hand, not shooting terribly poor from the field. 14 of 33, a 42% clip. 3 of 13 from the outside, though. And we mentioned all 3 of those three-point shots have come from the top of the key. Dixie State has been able to shore that up a little bit in the last 4 or 5 minutes of the half. St. Martin's has missed 3 free throws, 2 of 5, 40% clip, 6 turnovers for St. Martin's, and Dixie State has 3 steals on those 6 turnovers, and they'll look to try to pressure and force a few more of those in the second half. We can give you some of these specialty numbers as well. Dixie State being outscored in the paint, 22-14, and a lot of that damage in the paint is Markey Adams. He's only got 6 points, but he got 7 rebounds. He probably has all the second chance points for St. Martin's, which he does. 4 second chance points. The Dixie State bench, the 16-2 over St. Martin's. And you did mention that especially right now in the season, this rotation for St. Martin's is not very big. They only played, count them up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 guys to the 11 of Dixie State. The difference is they probably won't go any deeper than that 9. Coach Judkins will keep throwing guys out there if they're available to try to find that 5 that he wants out there on the floor in those critical situations.
Yeah, and when you look at that team, they played 9, but you're only going to get scoring from maybe 6 of them. There's 6 guys in the scoring column, so defensively, much better effort. Dixie State, just a quick count. I think at least I know 3 different defenses they've thrown at St. Martin's, possibly a 4th with one of the matchups, but throwing some different looks. Coach Judkins is really testing his guys early. This is a tough preseason, Carrick, and they're throwing out a lot of different looks and trying a lot of different things to find their niche. This is a new team this year. They can't rely on the same game plan and the same things that they had success with last year. They have to find their identity as a team, and Coach Judkins will do a good job of seeing what's working and what's not, and you'll see that style of play evolve throughout this season.
Dixie State a 40-33 lead. Let's take a 2-minute timeout. When we come back, it'll be time for the second half of play. 40-33, Dixie State by 7. The next 20 minutes coming up after this 2-minute timeout. "20 minutes up on the second half clock, not the third quarter. We had a football game today, so I've kind of got the quarter system in my head, and a women's basketball game. So it won't be too long before the men's game, I think, ends up in that international format of 4 quarters as well. But as it stands right now, of course, Dixie State was Division I this year. They would have had to kind of redo the floor and add an extra line. three-point line as well. So they're happy to be able to play this last year Division II and then be able to make some changes to the floor all at once and refinish it. And they'll have that extended three-point, that international three-point line on the floor next year. Dixie State taking on St. Martin's tonight, 40-33. And Dixie State goes back with its original starting five of Pagankoff, Youngblood, Stain, Chatwin, and Schofield. St. Martin's with the first possession of the second half. Teams flip sides. Dixie State now moving left to right across your radio dial. Moore to Schumacher. Right wing three, air ball, his second air ball of the night, and the student section is going to let him have it. Here comes Pagankoff for Dixie State. To Youngblood, Youngblood to Stain, will bounce it inside Schofield. To Youngblood, and he'll hang and hit with the left hand, tough shot, gets it to go, 42-33, Dixie State by 9. Moore inside, and is taken away by Jack Pagankoff. Pagankoff inside Stain, catch and score, Dixie State by 11. 44-33, 19-10 remaining.
Man, quick start. These both teams are coming out firing.
Here's Jennings, a runner off the window, can't get it to go. Cameron Chatwin the rebound for Dixie State. To Youngblood. Youngblood to Pagankoff. Will drive inside, hangs, can't hit. Chatwin, offensive rebound, one dribble, loses. Tosses it back in to Schofield. Now it's on the floor. Everybody's on the floor. Somebody's out of bounds, and it's going back to Dixie State. Jennings was on his back, out of bounds. Or not Jennings, it was Moore. Pile of humanity over on the floor in the left corner. Bodies everywhere.
That was a great move by Jack Pagankoff. That one dribble, it took him one dribble to get from the three-point line and contest at the rim right there. A strong move by Jack. I love seeing him take it to the hole.
Dixie State with possession. Stain will bounce into Chatwin on the right block. Chatwin will skip it to Pagankoff. Three left wing, no. Schofield battling for the rebound. Can't bring it down. And Moore gets it for the Saints, ahead to Schumacher. Schumacher into the lane, back to Moore. Backs his way inside, kicks it back out. Jennings, three-point land straight away. Now he'll back up near the timeline to reset the offense. Backdoor pass to Malloy. He'll swing it to Schumacher. Right wing three on the way is short. Offensive rebound, Malloy. Gives to Schumacher, spinning inside. Floater, no. Ball tapped, out of bounds, and back to Dixie State.
That was a good look there by St. Martin's. They had a chance, and Dixie's just smothering around the rim. They've got some really tall guys. I mean, you look at Hunter Schofield and Cameron Chatwin. Those guys, they've got a lot of length to them, and they really cause some problems at the rim.
Youngblood to Pagankoff. Pagankoff right corner to Youngblood. Youngblood to the free throw line, and a jumper from Schofield. It's too strong. And here come the Saints. They'll whip a pass ahead, looking for the big man, Marky Adams. He didn't even see it coming. He'll turn it over. Back the other way to Dixie State. Frank Stain will hang and hit in transition. And the Trailblazers extend the lead to 13, 46-33, 17-23 to play. And St. Martin's going to take a timeout. Coach Aaron Landon wants to talk things over with his guys as the Trailblazers have opened on a 6-0 run to extend the lead to 13. They're going to stretch it to a full 60-second timeout and back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network. Trailblazers open the second half on a 6-0 run to extend the lead to 13, 46-33. Dixie State 3 of 6 from the field in the second half. It's improving their full game clip to 48.8%, approaching that 50% mark. And Dixie State's a hot start to the second half, much like they started the first half in a way. We'll see if they can keep it going over the next 4-minute stanza. 17-19 to play. It was not the under 16. It was first coach's called timeout of the second half, which goes to a full timeout. So we've still got all 4 media timeouts here in the second half. Malloy with a 10-second shot clock for St. Martin's, backing in on Schofield. Now spins, drives to the lane, missed everything. Offensive rebound, Marky Adams, and he'll score the putback.
Strong rebound headed by Marky Adams and a very powerful putback. He almost dunked that.
Dixie State the other way, 46-35, an 11-point lead. Schofield shot blocked by Adams. Coach Judkins wants a foul, not going to get it. And here come the Saints. Malloy dishes to the corner. Jennings for three, right corner, and he buries it. St. Martin's fires right back with 5 consecutive, and it's an 8-point game again. Stain to Chatwin. He'll whip it around the horn. Youngblood for three, left wing, no. More the rebound for St. Martin's. Moore stops, kicks it back out. Jennings, and he'll back it way out with 18 to shoot. 16:05 on the game clock. Bounce to Adams. Hand off to Rooney. Rooney, top of the key to Malloy. Pump fake, now takes a jumper from the left elbow, and he hits it. 7-0 run for St. Martin's out of the timeout. Timeout worked.
Yeah, it did.
Pagankoff drives inside, will bounce to Schofield. Pump fake, and goes up and is fouled. And Logan Rooney got the worst of that one. He goes down hard. And Schofield will go to the line for free throws, but first should be the under 16 media. 15:43 to go. Dixie State a 46-40 lead with Hunter Schofield going to the line. 60-second timeout and back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network. (46-40), Dixie State the lead in the early going here in half number 2. 15:43 remaining. On a Saturday night in St. George, Utah, this the final event of what was a marathon weekend on this Dixie State University campus. Got to give a shout out to the Dixie State women's swimming team, who defeated Biola in a dual meet. The first ever meet held inside the new Human Performance Center. Incredible facility.
That was my first swim meet, and that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed watching those ladies compete today in that great facility. It's going to be a lot of fun having that swim meet, those swim meets on campus. That's a great event. And shout out to our women's volleyball team last night, beating Westminster and punching a ticket.
Pagankoff the trigger baseline left side. Inbound pass Wilson. Lets a three fly from the left corner. It's short. Rebound St. Martin's. Rooney will push the ball up the floor. Hand off to Moore. Pressured by Wilson. Spinning inside. Stops in the paint. Gives the Malloy left wing. He'll spin back to the left. Gets inside. Kicks to the corner. Jennings, three on the way. No. Pagankoff the rebound. Says that's my ball. Jack will push it up the floor. 3-point line straight away. Dribbles through the legs. Swings over to Stain. Right wing three. No. And he thought he had that one. But it rims out. Here come the Saints. Dixie State, the last few possessions, slipping into that fallback of shooting quick shots. Moore will catch in the right corner. Throws to Rooney. Rooney, mid-post left side, stops the dribble. Pump fake, can't get Newbold off his feet, so he'll give to Malloy. He airballs a three from the left wing, but it goes right off the gut, the stomach of Andre Wilson, and out of bounds.
6 seconds on the shot clock here. Dixie's got to be aware of what they're doing defensively. Ball out of bounds underneath. With St. Martin's doing a line at the top, you're looking for them to go right at the rim.
It'll be Schumacher to inbound to Rooney with 4 and with 3. Loses, and he's fouled. Andre Wilson. I think everybody in the arena asking what he did.
It was great defense. He was in his stance. He was moving his feet. His hands were up. It looked really good.
20 seconds up on the shot clock for St. Martin's. And Marky Adams misses, gets his own rebound, and is fouled after getting the rebound.
One thing about Marquis Adams is he rebounds so well. That time he goes up, he just gobbles that ball right off the rim so fast. He just sucks it up, and he's strong. He's got some big, strong hands, and really rebounds the ball really well.
Leighton Parker will pick up the foul. Rooney to inbound, and he throws it away right into the hands of Parker. He'll hand off to Pagankoff. He's bumped on his way up the floor. A veteran move right there to just take it right at C.J. Jennings, who picks up the foul, and Jennings doesn't like it, but he picks up the foul. Both teams with 2 team fouls for the first 5+ minutes. Here in half number 2, inbound pass, Andre Wilson, wide open 3, right corner, he knocks it in. 49-40, Dixie State the lead, 14:20 to play. Schumacher to answer with a floater, no. And the rebound to Jared Green. It looked an awful lot like Marquis Adams might have tapped that ball when it was above the cylinder. But Dixie State gets the rebound. Wilson for 3, left corner, no. Offensive rebound, Green stripped out of his hands. He saves it back into Pagankoff. Now to Wilson, left wing. Wilson, Newbold, 10-footer, yes. He says, give me all your mid-range jumpers, and I will take them, and I will make them. 51-40, bringing the mid-range back.
Yes.
I like it. And a steal for Leighton Parker. Dixie State in transition. Will bounce to Newbold, and he is hacked on his way to the bucket. Free throws for Josh Newbold.
I see some great energy. You know, when we talked about pregame, that playing with emotion, we're seeing that. Multiple guys, the bench is excited, and Dixie's really learning right now how to play with a lead. You know, that was kind of their Achilles heel last night, and we saw it a little bit the first half and to start the second half. But now they're really starting to learn how to play with a lead.
And I think they're discussing this foul, whether or not it's more than just a common foul. Again,
intentional.
So with 13:37 to go, Dixie State a 51-40 lead. Josh Newbold, we know, will be at the line for free throws. They're going to call a flagrant 1 on C.J. Jennings. And Newbold will go to the line. So instead of having teammates surrounding him, he's just going to shoot out there on his own. Who's going to high-five him when he makes the free throws?
He's got to give him the ghost
can
five.
Can the ref come give him a
Go for Josh. He's having a great game. You know, you love to see it. You know that Jack Pagankoff is, up to this point, he's been the leading scorer. He's the guy that they go to for offense. So coming into this, question I have, who's going to pick up the scoring when Josh is being double-teamed or Jack is being double-teamed? And tonight it's been Josh Newbold. He's really stepped into that role and come up big for the Trailblazers.
He'll make the first free throw. I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to jinx him. That's a new career high for Josh Newbold of 13. And he makes both. 14 points for Josh Newbold. He'll stay in, and an opportunity to add to his new career high. His previous career high was 12 points. Scored against Colorado Christian last season. $13:37 to go. So Dixie State, well, that's the difference there. You're going to get the possession as well after the free throws. So Pagankoff the trigger, baseline right side. It's going to be a big point of this game, and it's tapped and nearly stolen, but Dixie State will maintain possession. Leighton Parker holding to Pagankoff, right wing. 13 to shoot, still plenty of time. Parker, left wing. Shot clock under 10 now to 8. Newbold, left elbow jumper, yes! I love it. 55-40, and he's got 16 to lead all scorers. Malloy, top of the key, Alton, leaving for Jennings. Jennings has it stripped out of his hands and a steal for Dixie State. Green to Pagankoff. Pagankoff whips it ahead to Parker, who catches on the baseline left side. Backing in, he'll dribble it through. And back to Pagankoff. He'll swing it left wing. Bouncing inside Newbold, and he missed. He's human.
Yeah.
He missed a floater from the baseline left side. Rebound, St. Martin's. Didn't want to make the rest of us feel too bad about our basketball games. Malloy inside. Bounce it into the corner. Alton for three on the way. In and out. And Newbold goes up high and gets the rebound. And off to Pagankoff. He'll bounce it inside to Green. Off the window. No. Free throws coming for Jared Green. But everyone inside is asking, how did Jack Pagankoff thread the needle through three red jerseys to get that to Jared Green?
Well, he just put that really wicked spin on the ball. You know, the way he passed it from his hip, but he spun it in such a way that, you know, the Saints defenders, they couldn't anticipate where the ball was going. They thought it was going one way, and Jack had it going another way. Great pass.
Green's free throw will fall off the right side of the rim. Zubair Saeed in. Cameron Chatwin in. Newbold will get a breather. He's going to get an ovation inside the Burns Arena. Green bends the knees, lets the second one fly, leaves it short. Leighton Parker, offensive rebound. Dixie State will reset. Saeed to Andre Wilson. Wilson to Saeed, and he loses it. Kind of got through his legs, and he loses it out of bounds.
You know, those unforced turnovers will hurt you. The Trailblazers have played almost 8 minutes here in the second half without a turnover. First turnover of the half, and it was an unforced turnover.
Yeah, the Trailblazers respond. Here's Jennings. Alton. And he's fouled by Jared Green. Coach Judkins coaching him up. You got to slide with him. Can't put two hands on him. 12:06 remaining. Likely be the last sequence here before the under 12 media timeout. Moore, left wing, jump stop into the paint, kicks it back out. Three ball straight away, Schumacher, no. Saeed the rebound. Saeed to Parker, left wing. Parker to Wilson, three-point land straight away, whips it back to Saeed. Saeed to Parker, jumps a three straight away, it's short, rebound St. Martin's. It's Jennings running it up the floor, leaves for Malloy. Malloy runs into two Dixie State defenders and an offensive foul. Who drew the charge? Do you give a half of one to Leighton Parker and half of one to Saeed? I think you'd call that in football an illegal wedge, right?
Yeah, you have to give it to both of them.
That's an illegal wedge. But it's an offensive foul in basketball. 11:27 to go. Dixie State a 55-40 lead. 60-second timeout and back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network. Lanino run for Dixie State. The Trailblazers over the last 4 minutes and 27 seconds to extend this lead to a game-high mark of 15, 55-40. And the Trailblazers, over the first 30 minutes of this game, have played the way they want to. We'll see if they can close it out over the final 11:27.
Well, their perimeter defense has been really good. They've forced the Saints into a 4 for 20 shooting from the outside the arc, and they've done a great job rebounding, where Dixie's got 24 defensive rebounds. So they've been solid. Great effort defensively.
St. Martin's showing a half-court press. Dixie State will break it. Chatwin catching. They'll swing it back out. Parker to Green. Green drives the baseline. Can't get the short runner to go, but it's tapped out. And Cameron Chatwin will secure the offensive rebound. Gives to Andre Wilson. And Dixie State will have a fresh 20. It's 20 seconds this year on an offensive rebound. 10 to shoot. Jared Green, left elbow jumper, too strong. Rebound to Moore. Moore leaves for Malloy. Malloy jump stop. Shot is blocked by Jared Green into the hands of Leighton Parker. Dixie State gonna run it ahead to Saeed. And his shot attempt is blocked. Ball is loose and a collision as Leighton Parker and Alex Schumacher go for what appeared to be a 50-50 ball, but Parker going to be called for the foul.
It's a hustle play. You know, the ball was loose, and both guys going at it. They get Parker for using his body. You know, go back to the defensive end for Dixie, holding St. Martin's to 7 points this half in 10 minutes. Great defensive effort. You love to see this kind of defensive effort where they're talking, they've got energy, they're forcing bad shots and they're rebounding.
10:24 to go. 20-second shot clock for St. Martin's. Jennings dribbles the ball slowly and passes to Moore. Three-point land straight away. 10 to shoot now. Into the corner, back to Jennings. Left side, steps to the wing, fires a three, misfires, but offensive rebound to Alton. And the Saints reset. Ball stripped out of his hands as he drives inside right into the hands of Adams. He'll miss. Offensive rebound, Malloy, and he'll score. Third time the charm for the Saints.
Yeah, offensive boards will kill you.
Wilson quickly the other way, and an offensive foul against Andre Wilson.
You know, again, Coach Judkins is talking to his team about patience, you know, learning how to play with a lead. You know, 55-42, you give up 3 offensive rebounds and then come down and get into a hurry and get an offensive foul. So they've got to stick to what got them to this point. Use the clock, be smart, be patient on offense, move the ball, get a high percentage shot, and then get back in defense and get some stops.
9:40 remaining. St. Martin's with possession. 55-42 Dixie State lead. Adams, right elbow, will swing to Moore. Left wing corner three is out. Malloy, the rebound, tied up with Jared Green, and a tie jump ball. And Dixie State going to get it on the alternate possession. Jared Green will get credited with the rebound.
Well, they're lucky it went their way. It could have been another offensive rebound.
Yep. Dixie State head the other way. Saeed will set it up. 9:15 remaining. Dixie State a 13-point lead. Far from over. Here inside the Burns Arena, Parker gets a screen from Nichols. Will pass to Stain, right wing. Stain looking into Green. Nothing there, though. Opts to throw it around the wing left side. Parker for three is short. Ball tapped out of bounds. Back to St. Martin's.
Lucky, you know, he shot that with 4 on the shot clock, and nobody from Dixie had recognized the shot clock was running down. They're lucky they didn't get a shot clock violation. 8:56
to play. Second half, Dixie State a 55-42 lead. As the Trailblazers for win number 3 this season. Jennings swings to Alton, and he'll just step into a deep three. Missed it, and Dixie State going to lose the rebound as Paganikoff and Frank Stain fight over the rebound, and they knock it out of bounds. Back to St. Martin's. Inbound pass goes to Jennings. Jennings left side, drives to the baseline, kicks it back out. Malloy cut off by Leighton Parker. Swings it back to Jennings, lets a three fly from the left wing. No, missed everything. And they're going to put 4 seconds on the shot. The shot clock reset when it shouldn't have. There was no hitting of the rim. So St. Martin's will have possession with 4 seconds on the shot clock. The three-point attempt went over the rim and off the window, but did not draw iron. Inbound pass, here's Moore. Steps into a three, left wing, grazes the iron. No, missed it, air ball. Goes out of bounds, Dixie State will have it.
That's 4 for 25 behind the arc.
Dixie State trying to get away with a quick restart.
Yeah, it's
kind of like soccer.
Yep.
They call a foul and you just put the ball down and go.
Let's go, yeah.
Referee blows the whistle and says, hey, I'm in charge here. I will say when this game resumes. Now we're back in play officially. 8:10 remaining. Dixie State With possession, Pagan-Koff steps into a three, loop-de-loop, it comes out. Offensive rebound, Stain, put back no, and the rebound to Moore. We're under 8, media timeout coming on the next whistle. Dixie State a 13-point lead. It's Malloy, left wing. And we seen our first Coach Judkins foot stomp of the year. Over to Malloy, left wing three, too strong. Offensive rebound, Malloy. And St. Martin's going to take a timeout, try to set up a play. They're getting good shots. They just can't hit. If they start hitting these shots, Dixie State could be in some trouble.
And they're open shots. I mean, Dixie's doing a good job of taking them out of their offense a little bit. They switch to a zone, and I just noticed that they're having a hard time matching up rebounding because they're in a zone. They haven't played a lot of zone this year, so rebounding out of a zone can be kind of difficult because you've got to find somebody, match up, and put a body on them. So Coach Judkins using this timeout to address that matching up and doing something to stop these offensive rebounds. That's 5 or 6 offensive rebounds for St. Martin's real quick. The offensive rebounds are just killing them.
Well, and you remember, as we keep it right here through the timeout, at halftime, Dixie State had a 5-4 advantage on the offensive glass. At the 7:32 mark in the second half, St. Martin's a 14-10 advantage in the second, out-rebounding Dixie State 10-5 in the offensive glass here in half number 2. And they've turned that into 8 second-chance points.
Yeah. Well, fortunately, they've only scored 9 points. 9 points in the half. So you take away those offensive rebounds, and we could be looking at a shutout.
Dixie State a 55-42 lead. Carrick Segmiller and Mike Olson with you courtside inside the Burns Arena. Game number 3 on the docket for Dixie State. You look ahead from here, and the Trailblazers will head back up to Westminster next weekend. Not to play Westminster yet, but to play 2 more neutral site games up there, and then Westminster will be here on November 30th, Saturday after Thanksgiving. That's when the 2 teams will finally play. An open RMAC play. Malloy with 8 seconds to shoot for St. Martin. Steps into a 3 straight away. He makes it. The basket will count. There's going to be a foul away from the ball against, or no. And one. Foul against Leighton Parker. I saw Schumacher and Nichols kind of pushing each other away from the ball after.
Law of averages, right? I mean, they're bound to hit one of them. You know, they've really gone cold from the 3-point line, and exactly what you said, Carrick. If they start hitting those shots, Dixie will be in trouble. But hitting them and getting a free throw come after that's even worse.
4-point play. We'll see what kind of momentum that'll bring St. Martin's way. 55-46, Dixie State by 9, 7:14 remaining. Parker to Pagan-Koff. Stain, right wing. Parker, 3-point land straight away. Skip it to Stain, right wing 3, no. Rims out. Nichols fighting for the offensive rebound, can't come down with it. And here comes St. Martin's. Under 6 to play, and it's a 9-point game. Malloy drives inside, 15-foot jumper, no. And Hunter Schofield finally gets the first chance rebound for Dixie State on the defensive glass. Nichols driving inside. He is fouled, and 2 free throws coming for Jacob Nichols. He's going to stop and tie his shoe before he shoots the free throws. Having a discussion with the official. He got the call, so not sure what exactly the discussion is.
Really, St. Martin's has really just clogged that middle right there, made it really hard for Dixie to get any kind of look in the post or high post, and Nichols doing a good job to find that gap. There wasn't much of a gap, but able to get in there and get the ball, and he's just being strong. But that interior defense of St. Martin's right now, that's an adjustment their coach has made, is they're not giving up any more points in the paint.
Nichols makes the second free throw. Makes them both 57-46. Dixie State by 11, and Josh Newbold will check in. Good minutes from Nichols. An 11-point Dixie State lead. Josh Newbold back into the game, the game's leading scorer. Alton jumps a three, right wing for St. Martin's. A long rebound will bounce out to Frank Stain. He hands off to Pagankoff. Jack will swing it to Stain. No look past the Newbold. One dribble, 15-footer. No. Rebound St. Martin's. Malloy, three ball the other way, and he knocks it in. He's starting to heat up. 57-49. Dixie State lead is 8. 5:48 remaining. Dixie State with 3 timeouts, 1 for St. Martin's. Newbold inside. Schofield will score off the window, and Dixie State going to take a timeout. Draw up some defense. 59-49. Trailblazers by 10. 5:35 remaining. Keep it right here throughout the break. You were starting to say something.
Yeah, DeMonte Malloy, you know, the guard. He's the same guy that our crowd and everybody's been getting on for shooting air balls. He's got a lot of confidence. He's shot a few air balls, but he's shooting 56% from the field, and
he's got 22 points.
22 points. Yeah, I mean they can ride him for those air balls all they want, but he can play, and he's stepping up and he's putting this team on his back. They're not out. And it's guys like Malloy that can scare you. You know, shooting 56% from the field, 3 for 6 from downtown. He's a guy that can get hot. So they've got to find a body and keep it on him. Give up the middle at this point. You know, I mean, help and make sure that you're extending your defense a little bit. They've got to find Malloy. He's getting offensive rebounds. He's hitting threes. He's doing everything for St. Martin's right now.
5:30 remaining. Dixie State a 10-point lead, 59-49. Schumacher will drive inside, throws a shot off the glass. No. Offensive rebound, Adams, and he scores again on the putback. Schumacher is down behind the play. Pagankoff the other way will miss it. Tip putback from Schofield, no. And now they will stop play with Schumacher down behind the play.
It's an 8-point game. You look at how we got here. Dixie had the largest lead was what, 12? I believe that.
15, 55-40.
That's right. 15-point lead. We've talked about their inability to play with the lead. You know, again, we're seeing the same type of thing with 5 minutes to go on an 8-point lead, but hopefully they can get some offense going. They've got to be more patient. They can't take quick shots and play into this, the pace that St. Martin's wants to play. They want to get up down the floor here and get a lot of shots up quick.
5:05 remaining. Dixie State leading 59-51. Malloy jumps a three, left corner. No. Jason Youngblood goes up strong and gets the rebound. He's going to push it quickly across the timeline into Stain, and will hit off the window and in transition. 10-point Dixie State lead, 4:45 to go. You love the pace, the tempo. And Schumacher going to limp back to the training room. Hope he's okay. Dixie State is still a lob and an alley-oop in transition. Frank Stain to Josh Newbold, and he throws it down with 2 hands. An exclamation point on his performance tonight.
No, Carrick, I saw those two make eye contact. I thought, there's no way that's going to be there. Don't try it. There's no way that's going to work. And Josh Newbold climbed the ladder and threw it down 2 hands. What a great way to cap off a great night for Josh Newbold.
63-51. Alton the other way, a fadeaway jumper gets it to go. That'll quiet the crowd for a minute. 10-point Dixie State lead. We are under 4. Media timeout coming on the next whistle. No, Newbold, free throw line jumper, bang! 20-point game for the first time in his collegiate career, and Josh Newbold is having a night. Alton pushing off on Pagankoff, no whistle. And then a foul going to go against Adams as he takes Schofield to the ground, going for the rebound. And that'll bring us to the under 4 media timeout. 3:35 to go. Dixie State 65, St. Martin's 53. We take the 60-second timeout and come back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network. .335 to go. Dixie State leading 65-53. St. Martin's was trying to creep back into this thing, but we've talked about him all night long. Josh Newbold, 20 points tonight. Schofield has 14, Stain has 14, and how about the alley-oop in transition from Frank Stain to Josh Newbold. He throws it down for 2.
Very impressive game. Shoots 70%, 9 of 13, 2 for 2 from the free throw line, but nothing more impressive than that two-hand jam. He went up and caught it 2 hands with the defender going up to get it. I think it caught the defender off guard just as much as anybody in this gym because he didn't think there's any way Josh Newbold would get it. That was a high pass. It was a high lob, and he went and got it 2 hands. And what a great way to cap off that fast break.
Schofield will miss the front end of the 1-and-1 out of the timeout, and here comes St. Martin's quickly the other way. Malloy, right wing 3, hits again. 25 points for Malloy.
He can get hot real quick. You know, Trailblazers gave up 9 points the first 10 minutes, and 10 points the last 5 minutes.
Newbold going to try a 3 in the left corner, misses. St. Martin's the rebound. Dixie State will tap it out of bounds on the way back up the floor. St. Martin's possession.
I'll give Josh credit. You know, if you ever could take a 3, tonight's the night to test the
night.
waters.
Say, hey,
test the waters.
I got 20. I'm having a career night tonight, and
Coach will give
Coach
me a
won't
pass.
be mad at me if I. 65-56, Dixie State, a 9-point lead. We're under 3. Malloy with 16-second shot clock. Backdoor pass to Jennings inside, runs into Schofield, and a block. Is going to be called against Schofield.
Looks like he had good position.
Was he in the restricted area?
Yeah, I was going to say he had good position, but just inside that circle right there. So it's good call by the officials.
Trying to hear the official's explanation to Coach Judkins, and couldn't hear it. And then I couldn't see through Coach Judkins to try to read lips either.
Well, his body language
Jennings,
says he didn't like the explanation.
Yeah. Jennings will make the first free throw. 65-57, Dixie State by 8. Jennings with one more. Splashes it home. Lead is 7. Dixie State has been able to find buckets to keep the lead. Can they find another one here? With 2:40 remaining. Not necessarily in any hurry. Newbold swinging to Stain. 18 to shoot, and Pagankoff will wisely back it back out. You've got time still. Pass inside from Newbold to Schofield, and Hunter lost it on the way up, and it goes out of bounds. That was going to be an easy bucket for Schofield, and the ball slipped out of his hands on the transfer from catching to putting it off the glass.
Yeah, St. Martin's not going away. You know, it's only a 7-point lead here for Dixie State.
Malloy leaves for Jennings. Jennings to Malloy. Malloy inside. Adams goes for a dunk, and we've got bodies all over the place. Before the dunk attempt, Malloy ran over Hunter Schofield in the lane. The play continued, and Adams landed right on top of both guys that were already on the floor. Offensive foul is called, so Dixie State will have possession. 65-58, 2:14 to go.
St. Martin's with a little press right there, trying to slow him down. I don't know why they would do that. I mean, the clock's working against him, but they're sitting back in his zone and content to just let Dixie move the ball around.
Newbold, mid-post left side. We'll kick it back out. Pagankoff. We are under 2 minutes. 1:52 to go. Josh with an 8-second shot clock out to Stain. Stain to Pagankoff. 3 to shoot. 2 to shoot. Deep 3. Pagankoff short. And Schofield is pushed by Markey Adams, and the foul is called, and free throws coming for Hunter Schofield.
Hunter Schofield doing a very good job of putting a body on Marky Adams and boxing him out. You know, he got that call because he was very fundamental on that rebound. You know, Carrick, I'm still waiting for somebody to convince me that Marky Adams is not a young Gordon Hayward.
Hunter Schofield will make both free throws. We talked about that off air. I was waiting to see how long it would be until you brought it up. As soon as you said that, I mean, the resemblance is uncanny. Incredible. 67-58. Moore into the lane. Tipped away. It's loose. And St. Martin's will chase it down across the timeline. Here's Malloy with 10 to shoot. Gets past Youngblood. Cut off by Schofield, and a foul called on Hunter Schofield. Was late in arriving, and it'll be called for the bump, and it will be 1-and-1 in free throws for Malloy.
DeMonte Malloy, smart player. You know, he knows how to score, and right now it's at the free throw line tonight. What is he? 1 for 1. He's only, you know, he hasn't taken a lot of free throws, but he's getting to the free throw line, scoring with the clock stopped.
He misses that free throw. (67-58). Trailblazers by 9 with 1:20 remaining. Malloy makes the second free throw. And Coach Landon of St. Martin's is going to take his final timeout. It's a full timeout. So we'll take it as well. 1:20 to go. Dixie State by 8. 60-second timeout and back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network. .120 remaining. Dixie State leading at 67-59. The Trailblazers trying to close out win number 3 and trying to get that first home win under the belt in what has really been a fortress for Dixie State over this D2 era here inside the Burns Arena. 1:20 remaining. Dixie State with possession, got to go the full length of the floor. Full court pressure shown. Dixie State able to break it easily, and they'll settle into the half-court offense. Paganikoff to Newbold. They give him the free throw jumper, and he says, "Why are you still leaving me open?" And he splashes it home. He's got 22, a 10-point Dixie State lead.
That was a great decision to shoot that. You know, you may want to just use the clock a little bit more, but Josh knows he's going to knock that shot down.
St. Martin's three-point shot the other way is no good. And now we've got some extracurriculars after Dixie State gets the rebound. Schofield's got the rebound, and he's fouled. The foul will go against Logan Rooney. 2 free throws coming. Mentioned how much of a fortress this place has been for Dixie State in the D2 era, as Schofield makes the first free throw. How's this? Since becoming an NCAA Division II program in 2006-2007, Dixie State has played to a 123-27 overall record on the home floor under head coach John Judkins.
Yeah, I bet
Schofield will make both.
Most of those 27 came that first year when it was just a really rough year altogether. You know, and we didn't expect to have a real competitive team, but nonetheless had to put something together.
Alton will make a 3 for St. Martin's from the left wing. 71-62, Dixie State by 9. 37 ticks remaining in this game. Newbold had the ball in the left corner, and Coach Judkins, I think, was nervous he was going to shoot another 3. Tells him to pass it back out. Paganikoff's eventually fouled. 2 free throws coming for Jack Paganikoff. Should mention also, Dixie State has now posted 8 seasons of 10 wins or more at home during the 4-year era, highlighted by a perfect 12-0 record in 2009 and 10, and an 11-1 record in both 2015-2016 season and the 2016-2017 season. Paganikoff misses the free throw. Newbold had 2 chances at a putback, can't get either of them. And the ball is tied up afterward, and St. Martin's has the arrow. Shot clock is off now, 23.2 seconds remaining. Newbold gets a little push from Alton on the way back up the floor. He kind of just laughs it off.
Yeah.
We're going to have to say Josh, you know those tips count as shot attempts, right?
That's
You just dinged your shooting percentage there.
Well, then he's going to say, but they count as rebounds too, right? So
yeah, that's right.
Picked up 2 more
That's
rebounds.
right. I got a double-double now. Jennings at the line for the front end of a 1-and-1. He makes it 71-63, Dixie State by 8. Newbold comes off the floor, and he will finish with 22 points and 4 rebounds on 10 of 17 shooting.
Good night.
Jennings makes both. 7-point game. Inbound to Pagankoff, and he's fouled. This thing's still not quite over. 21 seconds remaining. If Dixie State can take care of business and make free throws, they'll wrap this up. Get ready to head back up to Salt Lake City for the second time in 3 weeks.
Should be a good road trip. You know, again.
I mean, they're easy road trips. You hop on the bus and just drive a few hours to get some games in. Pagankoff makes the first. You don't have to kill yourself on preseason travel.
Not going to miss a lot of class going into finals.
Because the RMAC schedule is grueling.
It is tough.
Boy. Pagankoff makes both free throws. 73-64. St. Martin's will roll the ball up the floor. Moore will pick it up eventually. 17 to shoot. Here's Alton. Jumps a 3 right wing, and he hits his second 3 in the last minute.
1 possession game.
And they're going to put 14 seconds on the game clock. And it's 73-67.
It's 6. Oh, yeah, we'll take it.
And Pagankoff knocked over on the inbound pass. And they're going to say he's not fouled, but that Pagankoff lost it out of bounds.
Dixie wanting a push in the back. Jack pleading his case that there's no way I'm just going to fall down with the ball. They may have gotten away with one. I think the official was in position, just didn't see it. But nonetheless, it's a 2-possession game, 13 seconds to go.
Goodness gracious, 13 seconds remaining. Moore into Looney for 3. His 3 is too strong. And a whistle and a foul going for the rebound. Alton hits the deck, holding his head. What's the call here? Are they calling a foul on Pagankoff? 32, they're calling a foul on Parker.
This is 4.
Didn't see what exactly went on. We don't have the full video set up tonight, so we don't have replay. Not able to go back and look at that. The free throw is up and in for Alton. And it's a 5-point game with 10.1 seconds remaining. This thing got interesting all of a sudden. Alton makes both free throws, 4-point game. Dixie State inbound to Pagankoff, and this time a quick whistle. Far less contact than on the last possession. But this time the whistle comes in. 8.8 seconds remaining. Dixie State will go to the line for 2 free throws.
Big free throws for Jack Pagankoff from the line tonight. He's 4 for 6, but these two are huge with a 4-point lead, 8.8. He's got to knock at least one of these down.
Next week, as Pagankoff will have the free throw, Dixie State will play Lake Superior State and Alaska Fairbanks. Kind of an odd pod up there.
Good thing
Lake Superior State out of Michigan, and Alaska, good thing. And Alaska Fairbanks out of, Fairbanks, Alaska. Pagankoff makes both free throws. Ball is loose on the inbounds pass. Dixie State by 6 into Alton. Shot with 4, misses. Rebound with 1 second, and the putback will be scored by Alton. And Dixie State will inbound it and win it. A hard-fought victory. Dixie State will claim the win, 75-71. Got a little more interesting over the last minute, but Dixie State will take it. And Dixie State wins it 75-71. Mike, overall, pretty good performance by Dixie State tonight to bounce back from last night's exhibition loss and put that behind them and say, look, we're better than that. That's not who we are.
Yeah, great bounce-back game. That's a good one to have, that first home victory. Thought the effort was definitely there. There's a lot of stuff to work on. I'm sure when we get Coach Judkins on, he's going to talk about some of those things. Rebounding is going to be number 1 on his list. I would be surprised if he talks and does not mention rebounding, because that was definitely the thing that kept St. Martin's in the game, was offensive rebounds and not rebounding as well as they should.
Dixie State is 75-71 victory. We're going to step away. We'll take a 2-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll break it all down inside the postgame report. We'll talk with the coach, John Judkins, get his thoughts on the win. The Trailblazers are victorious. 3-0 on the season. And they get set to go up to Salt Lake City one more time next week. 2-minute timeout, back. Postgame report on the Trailblazer Basketball Network. Welcome back inside the Burns Arena. Dixie State winning 75-71. And the Trailblazers improved to 3-0 on the young season. And it was a total team effort. It was standout performances from the Dixie State bench. And a career night for one of those bench players who, if he continues to play like that, may work his way into the starting lineup eventually. The Trailblazers 3-0 on the season after the 75-71 victory. Welcome inside the postgame report. Carrick Segmuller and Mike Olson with you on the Trailblazer Basketball Network as we get set to break this one down. And Mike, you're scribbling furiously over there. You're making notes on that stat sheet over there, so I cannot wait to see what you've got to say and the analysis that you have to offer postgame here. I'll just give you the team numbers overall. Dixie State 39% from the field for the game, so cooled off in the second half considerably from where they were at halftime, and even at certain points in the early in the second half, but able to hang on and win. They go 5 of 20 from the outside for 25% there, 14 of 19 from the free throw line, and Dixie State able to win this one. How about 25 assists on 28 made baskets? You like that ratio, as Dixie State really sharing the ball well tonight.
Yeah, they did, and we hoped with the turnovers to be under 10. I think he had, 17 turnovers last night, so much better job taking care of the ball. And when you can have that turnover assist ratio, that 25 assists, 8 turnovers, much better than last night.
All right, I'm excited to hear what you've been what you've circled over here. Let's see what do you got for us inside the post-game report.
Well, once again, it's Dixie. They've done a good job. All 3 games. You know, they've had leads. But the problem is they haven't been able to put a team away yet. You know, and tonight with 7 minutes to go, 7 minutes to go on the clock, and they had given up, or they had held St. Martin's to 9 second half points. They were sitting at 42. So in 7 minutes, they gave up 30 points to finish the game, and so that right there. I mean, that's got to be something that Coach Judkins has got to look at and say, you know, what was it? Well, rebounding. I mean, offensive rebounding. They gave up 14. What was the total offensive rebounding?
17.
17
for the game.
Offensive rebounds for the game, and that's a difference. So a gritty win, 75-71 win. We'll take it, but man, they had a chance to really blow this team out and didn't take advantage of it. But it's still early, and there's a lot of things that they're going to take to practice and overcome. But Josh Newbold, he really came to play, and he was the difference tonight. He was that guy that they looked to when they needed a basket. He stayed with the game plan. He was very disciplined, and those mid-range jumpers were there for him all night long.
Yeah, and I love that there's players like that in this day and age that and the three-point shot isn't necessarily Josh Newbold's bread and butter. I mean, he can shoot. I've seen him shoot it. He can shoot that shot. He can shoot the three. But I love to see players give what the defense take what the defense will give them. And if it's a mid-range jumper from 15 yards out, it's not sexy, as they would say, to take that shot in today's day and age, in today's basketball. But, hey, he finishes with 22 points tonight, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and a career-high night that enabled him to then get inside for some buckets and to take pressure off some of his teammates, because then they had to worry about where he was on the floor. But I'd love to see someone like that just take what the defense gives them and then take advantage and bury those shots. And I like what you said earlier in the broadcast as well, that somebody clearly listened to what Coach Judkins and his staff had to tell them in the film session and say, look at all these open shots that we have, rather than forcing up a three from 23 feet, from a deep three with 20 seconds on the shot clock. let's work the ball around, and then if you have an open look
Yeah.
with 20 seconds on the shot clock, it's okay if it's a mid-range
Yep.
jumper, that it's a more high percentage shot. And
Absolutely.
so you'd love to see someone like Josh Newbold able to do that. Frank Stain had a great game tonight, 6 of 9 from the field, 7 rebounds, a great facilitator with 6 assists as well. What a game there. Jack Pagankoff had a triple-double last week, and tonight he goes for 8 points, 9 assists, and 7 rebounds. So he's flirting with another triple-double. You just like to see these guys. There's multiple guys that can score. There's multiple guys that can facilitate the scoring on the floor, and that really showed tonight. And there was a little bit of a letdown over the last 5 to 7 minutes, but we'll address that. You can't overshadow the marked improvement from last night to tonight for this Dixie State team, and how much momentum that should give the Trailblazers heading back up north of Salt Lake City to play these two teams whom, I don't know that they've ever played Lake Superior State before. Don't think they have.
No.
And it's been a few years since they played Alaska Fairbanks up in Billings, Montana, but more unfamiliar programs, but more opportunities to see some different styles of play. Get ready for RMAC play coming up in just 2 weeks from this weekend. Actually, Westminster will be right here. Hard to believe that Thanksgiving is just 2 weeks from this weekend, but 2 weeks from now, RMAC play is here, and it's incredible when you look at the difference in calendar between Division I and Division II, and not just the start time and how many practices that you get before the first game, but when conference play starts.
Right.
Dixie State, and I keep referring to this, in its WAC schedule next year, conference won't start till nearly a full month later on December 29th or 30th, around there. And the Trailblazers are starting conference play in November this year on the 30th, and just doesn't give you much time to get ready. So it's good to see instances of marked improvement from one night to the next as the Trailblazers start to click and start to figure things out.
That's right. And this has been a very impressive preseason. The record officially 3-0. They obviously learned a lot last night. So the exhibition game, even though they lost, that was a good thing for Dixie. They tasted that. They learned from it. They realized what they had to change, and they really came out tonight. It was a very good game, but man, there's still. I hate to point out those things. They had a 15-point lead.
Yes.
Again, a 15-point lead, an opportunity to put them away. They just haven't been able to find ways to do that. And a lot of it is their tempo. They want to play up tempo, and so trying to teach them to slow things down. It's hard to go up tempo, for 30 minutes and then really hit the brakes. And learn how to play in the half court, but this team will adjust. When you look traditionally, I don't know how many people have mentioned this to me today, but at the football game and over the swim meet, I had a few people ask me about the men's basketball team this year and what it was going to be like, and they said, we're really excited because usually our men's basketball team gets off to a slow start in their preseason. They struggle a little bit and lose some games that they really shouldn't, but this year they're really showing signs of playing really high-caliber basketball early in the preseason. So I think the potential is definitely there. This is a team that's still trying to find their identity and their chemistry, and they practice so hard. Being in here, Burns Arena, to watch them practice a few times, they really work hard, and they're buying into Coach Judkin's system. And tonight was a great demonstration of them listening to him and really buying in and saying, okay, yeah, you want us to break the zone. This is what we did poorly last night. We saw it in film, and they really picked that zone apart. If they would have played offensively last night like they played tonight, they would have beat Providence pretty good. Yeah,
and it's the Trailblazers win this one 75-71, and you're listening to the Dixie State Basketball Postgame Report. Carrick Segmiller and Mike Olson. And it's interesting just to continue to see that marked improvement, and I'm really excited to see what Coach Judkins has to say on a night like tonight, and to see, the first things he'll say, like you said, are going to be, he'll bring up rebounding, he'll bring up some of these things, but it's just fantastic to see the Trailblazers having success in this preseason, these non-conference games, because like you mentioned, this team's calling card over the last 4 or 5 years has been slower start, between a 10 and a 15 game win streak between January and February. Yeah. And you'd love to, obviously you want to go on that win streak anyway, but you'd love to not have to have those long win streaks to stay in contention in the conference. And so this year they're kind of setting themselves up for an opportunity to have a season like that. And I'd have to go back and look at when the last time was the Dixie State went undefeated or near undefeated in non-conference play. And not that, in terms of final result, not that going undefeated in conference play really would mean, equate to success in conference play either, but certainly would mean that this team is starting to click earlier on, as former Dixie State basketball player Julian Decree is kind of putting on a show out there, shooting deep threes.
No, it's
and for those of you still watching on the Stretch Internet portal, you can see him out there. I thought someone took that ball away from him.
Yeah, somebody
at
needs
first.
To. I'll tell you the other thing that impressed with Carrick is defensively. We can talk about giving up 29 points in 7 minutes, but also that they held St. Martin's to 36% field goal shooting and 25% from the 3-point line. So defensively, pretty sound. They forced St. Martin's out of their offense quite a bit. They just weren't able to figure out DeMonte Malloy, who he's a scorer. Coming into this game, he had a total of 23 points on the year. So in those earlier preseason games, scored
doubled that tonight,
23, and then he went with 26 tonight. So he's a guy that can score, and Dixie's got to figure that out. When the guy gets hot, how do you play? You got to keep it out of his hands. You've got to force him to do something different. But he was getting it done on many different levels tonight.
Let's do this. Let's step away. We'll take a 2-minute timeout. Let's make it a 60-second timeout inside this postgame report as we wait for head coach John Judkins to come out. We want to get his comments, and we got to remind him the process. Hey, go and talk to your team for a few minutes and get on out here. We want to chat with you, Coach. We want to hear from you. So let's take a quick 60-second timeout. Obviously, clearly, what he's doing in there with his team right now is Farmer. Hey, here he comes. We're not going to take the timeout. That's all I had to say.
Yeah, he was waiting for.
He was waiting for.
He wanted to know that he was wanted.
And so we're going to keep it right here. Coach Judkins is making his way across the floor as we'll have him join us here in the postgame report. And I was going to say that what he was doing in that discussion they're having in there is much more important than what we're talking about out here. But we are joined in the postgame report by head coach John Judkins as the battle with the headset ensues, and he's going to throw this thing on there. Can you hear us, Coach? You got us?
Kind of. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You good?
The refs can't hear me, though. No, I'm just teasing. I'm teasing.
Oh, I'm sure they could.
Yeah.
Maybe a little selective hearing out there.
Boy, tonight was a lot better effort, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. That was a fun game out there tonight.
We would have played that hard last night. We would have beat those guys by 10.
That's exactly what he just said. He must know you pretty well.
He does. He understands this game pretty well, too. So it was good. Good win. I think I was really happy with the 25 assists to 8 turnovers.
Yeah.
They were just sharing the ball. In that zone, we did a good job attacking the middle. We had the same shots last night. We just didn't shoot it. We were scared to shoot from the high post. And Josh came in and he let him go. But I thought we shared it. Defensively, they were hard to guard because they're so quick and they love to drive and try to draw fouls. And we're trying to change them up defensively a little bit just to kind of keep them off balance. Maybe could have done a little bit better that way because they got a little hot there at the end. Maybe you should have got out of something different. But again, good win, good team. It was a good turnaround from last night.
Multiple guys contributing tonight. You mentioned Josh Newbold, and let's just throw that at 22 points in 19 minutes off the bench, and making the mid-range jumper popular again. And talk about not just making those jumpers, but instead of the team maybe forcing up a 3 with 15 seconds on the shot clock, they're working it around, and they're leaving him open, and so he's taking what the defense gives him and knocking in those mid-range jumpers tonight.
Josh and Cam are probably two of our best shooters, especially at that little 15-footer right there. I would put money on those guys all night. Josh did shoot one bad one, like you said. He called it with the 15 seconds in the corner, a deep 3, which we didn't need. It's like, why?
We thought you'd be okay with that because he already had 20 points on the night.
We're up 10, and then he'd shoot a bad shot like that. I don't mind a 3. I like 3s, but not one pass. And then we had a timeout, and I said, okay, let's move the ball from side to side. Then we'll enter it from the high post and Jack throws it right in there from the start, and he shoots it and it goes in. But if we miss that, it just changes a lot of stuff. But he played good. The thing, I don't care about his points. What I liked about it, he shot good shots.
Good shots.
And he shot 60% from the field. I mean, that's why he has 22 points, and that's what he's got to realize. I don't want him to go home and think, okay, I got player of the game because I scored a lot. That's not why he got player of the game. He got player of the game because he shot good shots in the flow of the offense, and he knocked them down. And I thought Frank had a good game. He misses 3 shots. He gets 7 rebounds, 14 points, 6 assists, no turnovers, and 3 steals. He was our second pick of player of the game. But he's a freshman. He's getting better. He sometimes hits that wall and he gets a little tired and he starts to stand up a little bit. But again, he's doing good. Jack didn't shoot it well, but man, great job distributing the ball with 9 assists, 1 turnover. I thought he did a good job. Andre tonight didn't score great, but I thought his defense was a lot better tonight. He was moving his feet. He was talking. We got to get our bigs to talk more on ball screens and different things. But I thought overall it was a pretty good game for everybody.
Coach, with 7 minutes to go in the second half, you held St. Mark's to 9 points, gave up 29 points in 7 minutes. The difference between the first 10 minutes of the second half and the last 10 minutes of the second half.
I'd say kind of like it was yesterday. I think they got a little bit relaxed and think, hey, this game's over, and they out rebounded us by 4. Yeah,
4 for the game.
4 for the game.
But they got like 10 of them in the second half, and it was those last minutes, like you're talking about, where they were shooting some crazy shots, but they were pushing and battling and getting some offensive rebounds. That's where we got to be tougher and stronger, and just rebound the ball and be tough with it. We go down and make foul shots. And I thought we kind of maybe thought, oh, the game's over. We're up by 12. I thought when we had Josh's alley-oop dunk, the momentum was going, and then we kind of relaxed. And you can't do that with a good team. And then they give them credit. They shot some crazy threes at the end that went in. If those don't go in, we win by 15, 20 points. But some for us to learn. We got some guy in the crowd last night asked me, hey, how many guys do you have back from last year, that played? And really, there's probably 3. That's it. So we're still going through those little mistakes and learn time and possession, game. Put yourself in the game and take some time when you got a lead and get a good shot. And then, I thought Hunter at one time, we ran it perfect. We took time. He makes a great cut. He drops the ball. Josh hits him for a layup. He kind of fumbles it a little bit. I mean, that's exactly what we wanted to do. Take a little time and then, pound it right inside and get a bucket or a foul. And so there's some things that we got to get better that we will, but they're seeing it. I see games like tonight. I think, okay, now we're starting to, sometimes a loss kind of wakes them up a little bit, kind of makes them realize, hey, this is what we got to do. And tonight it was a team effort. They shared the ball. That was the thing I was happy with.
It's nice to have a loss that doesn't really count, right? You can learn the lessons. Too bad life's not like that. You get one, get out of jail free card where you can just learn the lessons and
I'd prefer learning the lesson after a win, but you're right. Sometimes that happens, and it's not just us. It's every sport. You see a bad loss, and then they come out the next night and just blow somebody out of the water. You're right, but an exhibition game. Again, it's the same thing when we go play D1s. We went down and beat UNLV. Yeah, we took it maybe a little bit more serious than they did. I felt last night that's kind of how it went. And I wish you don't have to tell people that, but it's good. It was a good win, and the crowd. We got to get people out. I don't know. I know this weekend was nuts, but man, now we go home or go on the road for a while, and then we're back on the 30th. So let's get after it.
Last question, Coach. How nervous were you when you saw Marky Adams warming up, knowing that you probably had to face Gordon Hayward tonight?
I did say that.
It's uncanny, right?
No, I did say that to Jake. I said, hey, that's Gordon Hayward's brother, right? And he started laughing because it looked just like him. But no, it's funny.
As soon as Mike said that, I couldn't think of anything else the rest of the game.
Yeah, he was on the team last year he had, and they got a good team. I mean, number 0's he's a freshman, so is 25. Is that his number, 25?
Yep.
He had some big shots. I saw right there he wrote down bench points was big too tonight. 33. Josh was a lot of that, but we got a lot of guys in, got some good minutes, good win. Now we just got to get better every day in practice. Just keep pushing ourselves and put some new stuff in. I mean, we haven't seen a lot of zone, and this week we saw a lot of zone.
Yep.
So it was good to go through that and get that in, and now we got to start working on some more man stuff. But good win for us. Thanks, guys.
We'll let you get going, and prep starts for Lake Superior State and Alaska Fairbanks. We were just saying it's a good thing you don't have to make individual trips to those places. You can just go play them in Salt Lake City.
I'll get my freaking flyer miles on that one. So, no, it's good. We're excited, and the thing going back up there, too, our guys are going to feel comfortable with that gym. They just played there, and so, we'll be ready to go.
Awesome. Congratulations, Coach. Appreciate
it. He's
head coach John Judkins, and always a good interview.
It is great.
You win or lose, great interview, fun times. That'll do it for us. Dixie State winning 75-71, and they will be back on the road this coming weekend to take on Lake Superior State on Friday and Alaska Fairbanks on Saturday. And then, voila, just like that, November 30th comes. You go, you eat your turkey on Thursday. You do your Black Friday shopping on Friday. Well, some people go on Thursday now, but we boycott that. You do your Black Friday shopping on Friday, and then conference play starts on Saturday.
Let's do it.
That's the agenda. So you gonna be in town? You be here?
Oh, absolutely be here. I mean, if
full of turkey, or
if
you gotta make a quick trip back from somewhere?
Or? We'll be here, but we were talking today. We might sneak down to Vegas to see Mariah Carey. So
okay, little pre-Christmas concert. I like it.
Why not?
All I want for Christmas. Good deal. Good deal. He's Mike Olson. I'm Carrick Sagman. We appreciate you listening in tonight. Our next broadcast will be that conference opener, Saturday, November 30th at 7:30 p.m. We'll have the pregame for you right here on Radio Dixie 91.3 FM at 7:15. Thanks so much for listening, everybody. Dixie State wins this ball game. Always good. Enjoy the rest of the weekend with the win under their belt. Trailblazers are 3-0. We'll see you in a couple weeks when Westminster comes to town. Have a good night.